When thinking about crime, our first thoughts are usually stealing, assault, or more severe crimes like murder. However, there is a whole new world of crime in the digital plane, and the impacts of these crimes are worsening as technology becomes more advanced.
Cybercrime can cause devastating effects on the planet entirely.
Just recently, the cost of fuel rose, and shortages of fuel spread across the US due to a cyber attack against the largest fuel pipeline company in the world, and you probably didn't even know about it. Attacks like these happen every day, and to someone who doesn't follow the world of cybercrime, it may not seem like a big deal. Just know in our lifetime we will face a cyber attack so large it may have widespread, long-lasting impacts. It could even threaten the construct of society itself. There's no question that technology has made the world much more connected and convenient than it used to be, but it can also make things incredibly complicated when there are thousands of security breaches in different places at any given moment. Even though we often think of cyber attacks as something recent, they've actually been going on since the early days of the internet. So, what are some of the biggest and most dangerous cyber attack organizations? What do they do? Who would cause such atrocities? Well, I welcome you to the cyber criminal group nicknamed Fancy Bear, or APT28. When you hear the word hacker, what comes to mind? For many people, the word conjures up an image of someone sitting in their parents' basement, hidden away from the rest of society, coding away at some new website or computer application for fun. You probably wouldn't expect that these highly advanced hackers are actually a part of the government or a division in the military. There is currently a huge cyber war taking place, and these hackers, nicknamed APTs, are on the front line.
APT is a codename given to cyber criminals who fit the category of A, advanced, P, persistent, and T, threat.
APTs are sinister. They are typically a nation-state or state-sponsored group, and they will compromise and hide within networks, remaining undetected for as long as possible, siphoning out important data such as usernames and passwords, which could be yours, and in worst cases, top-secret government information like aerospace and military information. The repercussions for an unknown threat having this information to the national security of a country is unfathomable. Fancy Bear, or APT28, is widely believed to be a threat group that has been attributed to the main intelligence department, or GRU, Russia's premier military intelligence service. This group has been active since at least 2004 and are responsible for compromising presidential campaigns. A nuclear facility, an organization which prohibits chemical weapons, and more. I hope you quickly understand what kind of damage a cyber criminal group are trying to cause by hacking into nuclear facilities. What makes APTs different from normal hackers? Well, there is a large difference between normal computer hackers and government-backed criminal groups like Fancy Bear. You probably receive emails all the time claiming that you've won $1 trillion, or you get random text messages with suspicious links. I really hope you don't click these. These are usually underground groups who are mainly after financial gain, and for the most part, these criminals steal hundreds of millions of dollars every year. However, advanced persistent threat groups aren't necessarily after financial gain. These groups are usually after national intelligence or even aim to cause as much damage as possible. Fancy Bear are notorious for their 2017 attack, which was disguised as ransomware, a virus that spreads through computers and the network, encrypting every file and rendering the computer useless. To get your computer back, you need to pay the attackers money for a decryption key, which will revert the computer's files back to its original state. This virus, disguised as ransomware, was actually what's called a wiper. This is the most devastating virus, as its sole purpose is to spread as hard and as fast as possible. destroying everything in its way. Viruses like these have the potential to wipe out entire organizations, or cause setbacks which may be unrecoverable from. Imagine, at the click of a finger, every screen in your vicinity turns black. What is going on? The hackers have executed the malicious payload. You panic, but there's nothing you can do. They have just destroyed everything. Just like that, they're gone, and you wouldn't have had a chance. Fancy Bear are notorious for many severe attacks. However, one which may be familiar to some is the attack on the World Anti-Doping Agency in 2016. This cyber attack began by the group sending fraudulent emails to the organization, which when clicked on compromised login credentials, giving the attackers information needed to access the network. Once they were inside, they accessed important information on the medical records of elite athletes who participated in the Olympic Games, such as tennis stars Serena and Venus Williams and the gymnast Simone Biles. The attackers had one goal. They weren't after the money. They wanted to cause widespread controversy by revealing elite athletes taking doping substances. Although these athletes were cleared from any wrongdoing, as they were granted therapeutic use exemptions, this still caused massive controversy. It was an attempt to tarnish the reputation of clean athletes. Furthermore, the attack exposed the athletes' privacy. They revealed medical data, which is private, and published to the internet without their permission for all to see. It is believed the Russian state-sponsored group did this as retaliation against the World Anti-Doping Agency, which published a damaging report on the Russian government's vast cover-up of doping during the Sochi Winter Games in 2014.
Regardless of the intent, the ability for a cyber criminal group to cause such devastating effects is something worth noting, and to this day the effects are still seen within Olympic Games and other national competitive events.
Hackers are breaking into businesses and government institutions at alarming rates. While this is disconcerting enough, the number of organizations affected by cyber attacks has risen exponentially in the last few years.
It's been reported that more than 3,000 of the world's biggest businesses were targeted in 1 year alone.
With an increase in high-profile hacking incidents comes an increase in public awareness. And that means demand for information on how these hacks occur and what can be done to prevent them will only continue to rise. For now, the Russian-backed cyber group Fancy Bear or APT28 has been laying low. After receiving an unprecedented amount of attention in 2016, APT28 has continued to mount operations during 2017 and 2018. However, the group's activities since the beginning of 2017 have again become more covert and appear to be mainly motivated by intelligence gathering. Intelligence suggests that Fancy Bear have been using new advanced tactics to deliver a dangerous computer virus called the graphite malware as recently as last month. Who knows what plans they might have, or what organizations they have infiltrated. They wait in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to unleash devastating attacks. These groups have free rein as they are almost untargetable, they have no punishment or repercussions. With the Ukraine-Russian conflict taking place, it would be unreasonable to think they have something big planned, very soon. Until then, all we can do is wait, but make sure you're ready. The world of cybercrime has become so vast that it can be hard to keep track of all the groups of hackers that are causing havoc worldwide. There are thousands of other hacking groups in existence which have caused significant damages to organizations and governments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe as we'll be covering the most notable vicious cybersecurity attacks and the most notorious hackers.